this whole thing does come to a state of completion and remembrance of everything again. And that goes into, you said before, are we in the process of souls waking up, and everybody's waking up, and everybody's waking up. Everybody is going to see it. Yeah. And so I've showed this before. You're already getting disclosure stuff. And sometimes I would just be like, not really going to speak about that yet. Sometimes I'll share it privately with people, etc. Just because I'm very careful with how to not put people in that state. Yeah. But yeah, there's going to come a time, and I say this with absolute truth in myself. You know, if people need me to, are religious or Catholic, I'll put my hand up, put it on the Bible. If you are, have other religion, whatever that is, then that's what I'll do with stating what I'm about to state, because it's, you know, there's going to come a time where things are revealed to people, and when those things are revealed to people will be a biblical event on many fronts. You're looking at races in a sense of individuals, what people call ETs, but they're not even ETs. These are beings from even the out of body state, like your angels and things like that, where things are disclosed in that way for people. You know, the some of the original bodies, you could say, in Antarctica. There's an Antarctic treaty for many different reasons, and also one of those reasons is also hiding a lot of the pyramids, structures, you could say, craft that are there, technology that are there, and all this at some point will be disclosed to the people. You're going to even see a lot of the control structures to control humanity also start to be exposed, and they have been being exposed little bits over time, but like that's just going to continue, because where humanity heads is complete freedom. You could say a heaven on earth again. And that is the final event marker of what I know that will happen and come true. There are many different variables and potentialities of time of navigating that, but I know that is the marker, that is the destination, and it doesn't matter what happens in between that hits. And when it hits, let me tell you, it's going to hit hard, because everybody's going to see it again. You're going to get disclosure on the information of technology that has been suppressed from people for so many years. There's free energy devices that out there that have been buried inside the patent system. There's even technology that I've seen in my out of body state that they're actually using to this day that are still suppressed to the population, that would make humanity's life so much more easier. You know, when you talk about replicators and stuff too, even though we haven't talked about that, but when you bring up that term too, understand this, they have the ability, and you could Google search this, they have the ability to clone an animal. They've done this already. And correct me if I'm wrong. You've seen that before?
I've heard of this. Yeah.
Great. Perfect. Okay.
It's like decades old. It's like 10 years ago that's happened. Yeah.
Long time ago. And so they have the ability to clone animals. They have the ability to replicate food at you could say, the cellular structure, and replicating that food. And they have technology to make a true Garden of Eden on Earth. That's the technology that they have, physical tech. So all these things that have been suppressed, if you are able to clone a dog, you are also able to clone and replicate other things. Yeah, you're able to reprogram the certain cells within the body as well. And this is a technological front, yes, But the most important thing is what will be remembered again. And when we hit that state, is that your body is also that piece of technology. Yeah. And you could see why I stated in the beginning, I'm very hesitant to say things like this, because I'm not putting people in hope or hope harvesting or hope of something to come. This is just, yeah.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that.
And
that
so
would be...
sorry, I know that you're going to say something, but there were certain like events you could say that took place in the past. And you could say what happens here is actually even more biblical in a sense than that, what happens. And like I said, I'm not going to go through all of the little details and hope this and hope that, but it's just everybody does at a point in time, and it's already happening slowly through all of this stuff. What happened 4 years ago, etc. It's being dripped out, and it's going to continue. Yeah. So it's, yeah. And there's a lot of stuff still being hidden from the people, but I based off the things that I've seen in the out of body, as I've stated, it's some things people won't even believe, and sometimes it's best not to even speak about it until it's actually shown. Yeah. So I'll just leave it. I'll leave it there.
Yeah, no, that was
in context to everything. And I know, the interview and stuff like that, and this is that, but like very, very much appreciate if that's still held within context. Yeah.
Of course. Yeah. That should be where the episode ends, by the way. But I told you at the beginning, my gregarious nature gets the better of me sometimes. There's this, I couldn't let you go without asking this question about 12 and 13. Everywhere we look, we see 12. Everywhere we look, we see 12. 12 months should have been 13. You mentioned it yourself, the DNA helix, it's actually 12. 13.
And I say 13.
There's realm, there's 12, and then there's 13.
13, yes.
Yeah, so what's so special about the number 13 in particular, and why are we ostracized out of it into 12?
So I say 12 because it's basically, even though it is 13, but I say because a lot of people, 12 months or whatever, like they could, but there's originally 13 months to a year. There's 13 strands of DNA, scientifically what they call DNA. There's 13 strands of them. There's 13 dimensional structures within the brain. And the 13th is more of the containing field of things. And just like when you go through I'll just say it to make it short and concise, when you go through the 12 heavens, you also have the 13th, which is the container of those 12 heavens. Yeah. So everything from the originally supposed to be 13 months is all perfectly mirrored off of 13 months, 13 strand of DNA, 13 realms. Yeah. So that's why I go back and forth between 12, 13. I say 12 is supposed to be 13 because it's 13. But some people are like, well, I don't get that. I just stick with 12.
Hey there, Inspired Evolutionary. If you absolutely loved this, well then here's a full conversation with this guest on the Inspired Evolution podcast. Check it out now.